Hey guys, back for number 3, last one for 2019. This is going to be my little vacation because it's been very busy for me, and my Christmassy holiday season was kind of ruined by illness and stress this year. Um, and so I thought, why not make this one least Christmassy, more like tropical getaway. How about that? We are going to paint some beautiful Hawaiian plumeria flowers and a couple of thirsty little dragonflies to go with it. Very brightly colored, happy, warm feeling. And we're going to put some little water droplets on the flowers as well. So it's going to make it even more tropical feeling. Little turquoise skies, and I so would love to be away from here right now. You may have seen in pictures where there's like trees that are covered in ice, and they're very beautiful. Very, very beautiful, but not safe to drive in, not safe to do anything in, not safe to move in, let's just say. So right now our trees are covered in ice. So I have picked, my rock is like close to 6 inches. I've picked 3 different sizes of flowers. They have 5 petals, and they're really nice, thick, almost like, oh, they look like almost suede. They're beautiful. They're so beautiful. And they have a few different colors. Today I'm doing bright yellow, white, and neon pink. And of course, we're going to do lots of fun stuff with it. So why not go out with a bang? You guys are coming on a little mini holiday with me right now. So like I said, 3 different sizes of flowers. 5 petals each. We're going to go back to those afterwards. I used a sponge to sponge out any brush strokes after painting on the petals. They don't look like much right now, but we're going to work with those afterwards. Right now, we're going to start with our leaves. I'm putting 3 leaves, I believe, on each flower. Maybe 2 just on the first one. But basically, I'm just going to work with whatever room I have. We're going to be adding 2 little thirsty dragonflies afterwards, so I'm kind of leaving a little bit of space at the bottom left side of the rock for those dragonflies, but you'll see what we do afterwards. So I'm using like a dark classic green, and I'm just going to kind of continue to highlight these darker green petals, or sorry, leaves, as we go along. So I am starting with a paintbrush just to get the shape down, and then I'm going to sponge it out so I get rid of all of the brush strokes. Then I'm going to be adding lighter greens to the right side, down the right side of the leaves. And I'm just going to continue to highlight the leaves, and you will see how that goes. So now I'm using a lighter green, and I'm using a little Martha Stewart sponge dauber, and I'm just trying to stay along the right side of the leaf. I'm keeping the left edge dark of all of my leaves, so keep that in mind. I am in no way a realistic painter. Just doing the best I can and making something fun with you guys. So don't come for me if this doesn't look the way you're used to seeing a plumeria flower. Okay, so I am highlighting all of my leaves. This is not how quick I normally work. You can see that I'm daubing like a maniac, and that is because I've sped it up for you guys, or else this video is going to be extra long. There's a lot of really cool things in this video. You've seen flowers before, you've seen my dragonflies before, you've seen water droplets before, but I'm just going to kind of combine 3 different types of flowers and dragonflies, and just being creative with it and going on a little mini vacation with you all before 2020 gets here. I was really excited when I started feeling better after the holidays, and because we're moving, it was basically I was sick all day Christmas Day, and then Boxing Day, we took the tree down. We took all the decorations down and packed them, and it was like Christmas was over immediately. So, and I still wasn't feeling great. It took me a few days to get back to feeling great, but just all Christmas was put away so quickly, and it's never like that in my house. Yeah, so it's been very, very different, and I'm really excited that I get to kind of just celebrate the end of this year and not do anything Christmassy at all on this rock with you guys. Nothing at all Christmassy. So I appreciate you guys coming with me just for this little therapeutic session at Rachel's Rocks. So I'm finding my petals now. Each petal kind of overlaps the other one. That's what I really love about these flowers. They kind of look like they're twisting, like a little windmill, I just love them so much. And I love the feeling of them and the thickness of them and all of that. So these are like one of my favorite tropical looking flowers. So I'm going to help you find those petals as we go along as well. But I started off just kind of outlining it with white. And now I'm going just inside each petal. I'm not going right out to the edge. I want to keep my edges white. But I'm just kind of, I guess you could say, highlighting the center of each petal with some yellow. You can use whatever yellow you have on hand. Mine is just a crafter's acrylic paint, and it's bright yellow. So you can use neon yellow. You can use whatever color you want. There also, you can find, if you look up pictures of Plumeria, there's really pink ones and kind of like coral looking ones that are beautiful. So you choose what you want to do. These are just the color that I'm choosing to work with today. So I'm using my little handy dandy blending brush, and I'm using a little bit of neon pink from Martha Stewart. It's called Pink Pinata, and I'm just giving the left edge of my petals a little pink hue. So I'm just blending on a little bit, not too much, not too thick. You don't want it to be the only focal point of the flower. You just kind of want it to just a little bit of blush on the left side of those petals. That's the way I'll explain it. Just blush the petals on the left side. And once we outline it and everything, it's all going to come together and actually resemble Plumeria. So just watch and learn. It might look a little messy. Now the outer edges of my flower are kind of fuzzy, but I'm going to fix that. We're going to use some white paint, and we're going to use some black paint, and we're going to do magic tricks with it. So I'm okay with leaving that nice, thick, bold white line where these petals overlap each other. And the more times you outline it, the thicker that gets and the more apparent it gets, which does kind of make your flowers look a little bit more 3D. So I've done that with all 3 flowers. I only showed you how to do the one, but they're all done the same way. And now I'm going to add some nail glitter. I will put the link in the description of the nail glitter that I use, although you don't have to use the same stuff that I'm using if you can't find it. But basically it's chrome powder for your nails, for people who use gel or acrylic or whatever nail, and then you can add this to, also you can add it to regular nail polish as well to give a chrome effect, but for this it just makes it glimmer. So it really makes like the sides of the leaves where I've highlighted, I'm putting some there. I put some in the center just on the yellow of each of the Plumeria flowers. And like I said, highlighting these leaves with it, it really does magic to our artwork. I'm a huge fan of anything that sparkles. So there. That's the best way for me to explain it. I feel like I probably am still so echoey doing these last three tutorials of 2019. Let's just say you guys are lucky I was able to get these done. I'm happy. This is therapeutic for me, so I'm happy I was able to do that as well. Now to keep my glitter in place, as you know, I use usually Duraclear gloss varnish, or you can use triple thick or something. Just coat over where you put the glitter so that it does not budge. If you don't do that and you go to seal it, everywhere you put that glitter in specific spots, it's just going to travel all over the rock. So I coat it with a little bit of this clear varnish, let it dry really, really good, and it keeps the glitter where I wanted it to be. So it's just a little thing that I do to keep the glitter in place. It's kind of like gluing it down. I usually use my Duraclear gloss varnish as a glue. You might see in one of the tutorials I posted today. But yeah, so that just keeps all the glitter where you wanted it to be. Now I'm doing a little black dot in the center. You don't have to use a dotting tool. You can use the end of a paintbrush. Just be careful of the size that you're using. And just put a black dot there. We're going to let that black dot dry and add a little gold dot to the center of that as well. But we still want to see that black dot there. So I am now outlining all of my petals, and make sure you're outlining the petals properly so that each petal overlaps the other one. It is possible to outline it wrong. But it needs to look like each petal is kind of sitting right on top of the other one. And once that black is dry, I'm going to go back in with white, a nice thick layer of white, and thin out my black lines because I don't want them too thick, because then it just doesn't look right. So I'm just going in and thinning out all of those black areas. I'm also going to outline all of my leaves in black, and I will be adding a little line of gold along the highlighted sides of the leaves as well, because I just can't leave the gold alone. Just can't do it. I want to just take a moment to tell you all how much I love you and appreciate you. The contest was very stressful, and I had a few really mean people after the contest, both on Instagram and on Facebook, that were very hurtful and actually told me that they were no longer going to follow my page because of it. And it was simply because they couldn't see their name on the magic wheel that picked the name for the winner. So I was so hurt by all of that I told my husband I was never going to throw a contest again, especially with all the stress that I've been going through. But I'm not going to let one party pooper or 4 party poopers ruin it for the 45,000 almost of you that support me every single day. So there will be more contests in the future. It won't be yet because I'm waiting to settle into my new place. But there will be more to come. I just want to let you guys all know how much that I appreciate you before I do anything else. So if you have seen my water droplet tutorial, you might already know how to do this. If you haven't, I'm going to actually post it in the description of this video so that there's a link there for you, and you can take my water droplet tutorial and do it as many times as you want before you even try this part. This part's also optional. You can stop right here and skip it to the dragonflies and watch how I do the dragonflies. Or you can try and do the water droplets. So basically I do a black circle and then I lighten the lower portion of the circle and smudge it in, kind of blend it in. You can use a little bit of green which I do. I use a little bit of green on my leaf in the center of the circle to help the blending of the white. And then I add a little shadow to the ball of water, and it kind of pops it right off the leaf. You'll see I'm also going to do a few on the petals of the flowers. And of course, instead of using green to blend in the white on the water droplet, I'll be using yellow to blend in the water droplet. So depending on what color you've chosen, you might have to use that color to help you blend. So now in order to do the shading underneath the water droplets so that it looks like it's raised up off the leaf, I'm using water and mixed with black paint. So very watery black paint to do my little shading like I'm showing you. You can see it a little bit better on these yellow flowers. This watery black paint works well to do just the shading there, to make it look like the water droplet is actually rising up off of your flower a little bit. It just helps with the reality of it. This one kind of looks a little bit strange, the one that I'm doing now, but it's a little dark and it's not placed properly. Strange. I don't know. But I'm not perfect, and I'm doing the best I can to show you guys how to do something. So don't come for me. I am adding a little blip of white to the top where it's still darker. And then that gives it the whole effect that there's little water droplets all over your plumeria. And now you need some thirsty little butterflies to come on in and have a drink. So, of course, my dragonflies are going to have gold in their bodies and in their wings and glitter. But like I said, this is optional. You can stop here. You could have stopped before the water droplets even were a glimmer in my eye. You don't have to do all of this stuff if it's too much for you. Take your time. Watch my water droplet tutorial. Work on that and see if it's something you are feeling comfortable with putting over top of your beautiful flowers that you've just created. It's totally up to you. I just wanted to give you guys a really nice one to end off the year. So it's up to you what you do with it, but this is what I'm doing. My dragonflies are going to be very simple. There's going to be a purple one and a teal one, and the wings are very, very simple. You can sketch it on with pencil if you're not comfortable just going right at it with the paintbrush, because sometimes getting those wings right is a challenge. Trust me, after years and years of doing this, I do find it much easier now, but it used to be a real challenge getting the wings like to even remotely resemble each other or look like pairs that belong together. So yeah, it takes time and practice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blend in purple eggplant color. I'm going to start so that the top is dark purple, and then as I go along the dragonfly body, it's going to get lighter and lighter until the tip is just white. So both of my dragonflies are going to be super simple, and the wings are going to be left empty like this with the gold outline. And then we're going to put some glitter in them just so that they look like wings. And then we're going to outline them with black paint. So you're going to need your fine lining brush for this part as well. And you can place them wherever you want. I'm just kind of placing them on the bare parts of the stone. My stone color is going to change dramatically when I resin it. So right now it's like a dusty dark gray color, but when I resin this, it's going to go almost like a black marble. You're going to be able to see the stone, but it's going to be very dark, which does change the look of your artwork a lot. So keep that in mind when you are going to seal it, that it might change the look of everything, but you might love it even more like I do once I've resined this one. I kind of am so used to my stones that I use that I know what color they're going to be when I'm done. So I'm okay with this one. I just wanted to warn you guys that it's not going to look the same. That stone is going to go real dark, almost like a marble. So for my teal dragonfly, I used hologram 2796 in the wings, and I'm just doing a thin layer. You don't want to do too thick of a layer or it looks foggy, really, really foggy. But I'm just doing a nice thin layer, one with hologram, one with dragonfly glaze. It's like a holographic rainbow. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You will see in the resin portion of this video how beautiful it actually looks afterwards. I am outlining my whole dragonfly with gold, making sure that it's all tucked in behind gold walls, and I'm adding a couple of little lines down the body. I'm going to do this to both of them and give them arms and legs and little tiny antennae. Very, very tropical, very vacation feeling for me when I look at this. So this is also going to be going into my Etsy shop. I'm excited to create with you guys in the new year. I'm just excited for this year to be done and over with, to be honest. It's been a heck of a year. But we're going to make next year even better. So I am taking my fine lining brush and I'm outlining these little dainty wings. And I'm going to outline the bodies of my dragonflies as well. I apologize, I'm not really in focus. I'm working with the bare minimum here. This isn't my desk. This isn't where my lamp usually is. And I'm very echoey. If I were singing right now, don't mind my thumbprint. My stone really like sucks up my fingerprints. So that takes a minute to disappear. It doesn't show up in the resin, mind you. Keep an eye. See how dark my stone went? It is absolutely sparkling and shimmering in every which way. I cannot express to you how beautiful this is in person. It looks too dark to me on the screen, but it's so bright and beautiful and tropical, and those beautiful dragonflies will not be thirsty. I love you guys. Happy New Year.